Welcome to Urban Nightlife Radio, a podcast dedicated to adult conversation with your host, Tony Fly, coming to you from Q's Cigar Lounge to lay down another hot topic.
What's up, y'all? What's up? Back for season 2, Adult Conversation. I'm back, y'all. They done messed around and let me in the door, and I'm coming in and I'm kicking and screaming. It's good to see y'all, all my viewers that's watching us live via Facebook, also via YouTube. Once again, thank you for continuing to rock with Urban Nightlife Radio Podcast. It's a adult conversation for adult people, for the people, brought to you by the people. You dig what I'm saying? What we do is here is we live stream, because live stream causes videos that build audiences, you know, when you just have videos. But when you live stream, I believe that builds communities. And so that's why we do live streaming when we do our podcast talks. Okay. I got a good one for y'all. This season 2 premiere kickoff. Season 2, we're going to bring to you some of the hottest conversations, some of the hottest topics. We're going to dive deep. And deeper than we did in season 1 for those that tuned in. And y'all just be on the aware and on the lookout. It's coming. But today's guest that I have for you needs no introduction. I'm just going to get right into it because I need all the time that's allotted to me so I can get right to her and try to get this thing done here within the allotted time that we've given. I'll say this about her before I bring her to camera. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a special guest in the studio with me today. Let me start off by saying she's a business owner, entrepreneur, mentor, inspirational speaker, a writer, fashion ambassador, a runway model, breast cancer foundation operator, and the most important thing, she's a survivor. Stand up and show your love for the one and only Punky, y'all. Punky, what's up, baby? What's going on?
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
There she is. Y'all give her a round of applause for her. That's right. So, Punky, you got on and came on in here to Urban Nightlife Radio.
I made it.
You know, the things that you're doing out here, I had to have you come on the show, especially to kick off the season, you know, with season 2 that's upon us, episode 1. And y'all, we're going to have a great show for y'all. We're going to vibe, we're going to kick it, we're going to laugh, we're going to have fun, and it's going to be a great show. I've been knowing Punky for a long time, since the motorcycle days and the bike club days, you know, and she's always been doing her thing, always since I've known her. And I just had to get her on the show to talk about the different things that she has going on and the different things that she's been through. And so that's why we had the show today. That says it's the Pkruzz journey. Okay. Punky, let's get right. You want to get right into it?
Let's get right into it.
Okay.
It's a journey, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all, my voice, y'all have to excuse my voice. I don't have a voice all the time sometimes, so I hope y'all can hear and understand me on today. Let's go.
Okay. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to move this closer to you.
Okay.
So it'll help with your voice, okay? All right, so let me do this. Let me take care of you real quick here. We'll make that happen. We'll do that there. That should help you out with your voice right there. All right. So I got a question for you. I'm gonna get right into it, dive right into it. How did you become the 290 clothing line ambassador, and what does that role entail?
Well, everybody pretty much know James and Jason's are the two founders, the twins from the west side of Chicago. They are from Division Street. And they came up with a great idea to use the interstate for a clothing line, which was great because if you're representing the west side, 9 times out of 10, you're going up and down the 290. So I was asked to be the ambassador because one, I'm all over the place. I'm out. You have to be able to have someone to be an ambassador that's out, that's going to advertise, that has a great spirit, that has great. I'm sorry, not great, but you have to know a lot of people to actually advertise the clothing line to get to make the money off the sales and the clothes. So I'm somebody I like to dress, no matter if it's from a jogging suit down to some kicks, some high heels. I'm coming. I'm gonna bring it. So I was that person that they saw fit to be placed in their clothing line. So I have an eye for clothes. So I'm actually I'm very experienced when it comes to clothes and dressing. So I love to dress, of course, as y'all can see. So what happened was I'm creative. So I kind of create some of the styles and come up with some of the clothes to bring out for women and men. So, I'm asked sometimes, how does this look? Should we change this? Should we cut this up? Should we slice this? Should we do this? Should we make it tight? Should we make it loose? So when you have a person that that has an eye for attire, different types of attire, I don't just wear one type of attire. I wear different types of attire. So I was that person that they saw fit to be an ambassador for their clothing line. So that's how it came about, with me being an ambassador for the 290 clothing line.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That the fact that they came to you to actually represent their brand and put their brand out there, is a honorable thing because you have to be careful on who you have represent.
Exactly.
Something that you put your your hard work and hard on money into. But that's cool. I like that. Let me ask you this. Ever since I've been knowing you always got a smile on your face. You all, like you say, you always out, you drive and determined. Where do you get that energy, that drive and that energy from to continue to press on being involved in so many roles?
My drive comes from I want to be a better me for me. And I didn't want to come off to pleasing other people because once you start pleasing other people, you have to continue to please. So one day I woke up and decided I wanted to please myself. So
Okay.
I started with being humble. No matter what I do, how much money I make, the fame, because a lot of fame come with it, a lot of friends come with it. You have to remain humble no matter what. I'm a fair person. I try to treat everybody fair. So my energy comes from me making me happy first and then helping others to be happy. So once I see I'm satisfied, somebody else is satisfied, your dream become my dream. If you have something and you want me to be a part of it, I'm gonna do my best at it, and it makes me become more humble at what I'm doing every day, no matter what I'm doing. And yes, I have sad days, bad days, but I try my best not to show them. I remain humble and I pursue with what I have to do on a day-to-day basis, and I deal with the rest of it later.
Right. Okay. I got you. I got you. So this is October. Most of you, if not everybody, know what October represents. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so I wanted to have the guest and kick off the 2025 season with season 2 of Urban Nightlife Conversation and Adult Conversation with doing something. Since we were in October, the show is premiering in the month of October. Do something and have a guest that can sit down and talk to me, not just about breast cancer awareness, but actually who has, a testimony and a story to tell. And so that's another reason why I reached out to Punky and asked her, would she be willing to come on the show, to tell her testimony. Um, and so we'll just go right into it. Let me ask you this. When And how did you discover that you had been diagnosed with breast cancer? And what was your reaction or mindset after receiving that devastating information?
Well, I found I found a knot. I found my own knot. I was doing a breast exam, and it had been like maybe 2 months. And you know, when you feel something, you're not sure, so you really don't want to feel what you know you're feeling. So maybe 2 months went past. I started noticing I had discoloration to my skin on the side of my breast. Once I saw that, I knew something wasn't right. But again, I wasn't aware because I didn't know anything about it. So I didn't know the symptoms. I didn't know the signs. I just know I felt a knot. So once I felt that knot, I waited a while. I was like, no, maybe that's not it. Maybe I have disc tissue because I had some disc tissue in a mammogram before. So once I saw the discoloration, I made a doctor's appointment. Once I made the doctor's appointment, I went into my primary care, and she just consistently to tell me that it was fatty tissue. I knew it couldn't have been fatty tissue because the discoloration. I had already began to read and to look up things about discoloration and knots and things, and I was like, no, it can't be. I know it's not that. I know it can't be. I would go to work because I'm a cosmetologist, so I would go to work and say, y'all, I feel something. You know, I'm playing. I was playing, but it was serious. And I kept saying, y'all, I think I might got that C word. I might got the C word. But when you playing with that word, that's why I take that word. I said, I don't say the word, but I don't play with the word because I play with it. But sometimes I feel like I manifested it because I kept saying it. Like, I think I got the C word. So once I went to the doctor and I finally got diagnosed with it, it was devastating. Anybody I mentor, anybody I talk to, the first thing you think of is death. That's the first thing. Am I gonna make it? And at the time, I had small kids. So having small kids, you don't think you gonna live to see next week, next month, because at that moment you don't know how aggressive it is. You don't know if it's gonna take you out. You're gonna see the next year. You just don't know. So you all over the place. So I'm sitting in the doctor's office. Immediately, I'm like, oh, should I hit the tree? Should I just take myself out? It's devastating. Your man go all over the place. But I knew at that moment, I'm like, no, I had too much to live for. So at that moment, it was a fight for me. I was sad, I was upset, but it was a fight for me. And again, I'm a two-time survivor. So that was 2014. Now, once I got diagnosed again with the same situation in the same location, so here it is, 2014, they tell you, this is what they tell you. I had to do a mastectomy. I had to take my breast off. Yes, I did. So those of y'all that see me and be like, oh, no. Yep, I did a mastectomy. I had to do 16 rounds of chemotherapy. And we all know you lose every strand of hair. So chemotherapy for me, I lost weight. If you see me, I've always been thick. I'm big boned, so I've been thick. I lost so much weight. I was wearing a size 0. Never wore a size 4, 0, 3. Never been that small in my life. So I was 137 pounds, soaking wet. So after the 16 rounds of chemo, I had to do 33 rounds of radiation. So after doing all of that, they come back and the doctors say, oh, well, you need to do another treatment for another year. Did the treatment. So after I did that treatment, you got to know, in your mind, you thinking, I'm okay, I'm fine, I'll be good. And that's what my mind state was. And after I did all the treatments they told me I had to do, I'm thinking I've overcome the situation. Bam, 2016, it happened again. And it came back, the tumor came back in the same location. How the tumor came back in the same location, I don't know, but I was extremely angry. I was extremely upset. I began to tell the doctors, I gave y'all my life 2014, and y'all took over my life for 2 years, and y'all told me everything would be okay, because that's what they tell you, because they don't know. And that's why I'm an advocate for the BC. I don't say the word, y'all know what it is. Because they tell us this is 1, 2, 3, and you're all done. Well, I wasn't all done. I had to go through it again in 2016. So after being diagnosed again with the same diagnosis in the same location, which was supposed to be taken out by a mastectomy, I was hurt. So I turned over and I said, I'm taking a new leaf. And I just gave my whole entire life and put my life into God's hands. And that's why I say every day, if you trust and believe, he will make it happen. And that's my journey was from that point on. I'm a totally different person than I was before I received my diagnosis. I was one person today. I'm a whole different person. I'm more humble. I'm more thankful. I'm more grateful for any and every little thing that somebody do for me. And yes, I'm full of tears.
You know, that's and you mentioned that that's crazy because, you know, like you said, you went through that,
Yes.
you know, in 2014, and then to come back in 2016 and have it to where, you know, it comes back in the same location.
Same location. It
You
was
know.
a very rare case. It
Hmm.
was they actually when we sat in the room, it was 30 doctors in the room, and nobody could figure out what happened and how it happened. So it was a very I was one of the first cases that this has ever happened. I'm sure now it's probably happened again, but I was one of the first cases that had ever happened, and they did not know what to do. They didn't know what to do.
Wow. Wow. But you overcame.
I
You
did.
got through it. You
Yes, I
overcame.
did.
You pressed on. Um, with all that being said, what advice would you give to someone listening or watching this broadcast that may be currently dealing with breast cancer or just found out that they've been diagnosed with breast cancer?
My advice is first, get closer to God. Stay in alignment with God. Believe that He can change things. Your diagnosis don't have to be your diagnosis. You just have to believe that that's not your diagnosis. Don't get stuck in the middle of the storm. Find your way to the end of the storm, because you know at the end of the storm you are done with whatever it is you have to go through. Keep your belief open to God, because He will speak to you. You just have to pay attention. You have to be do researching for yourself. Don't take what the doctors say, because doctors are practicing. Doctors Google just like you Google. You have to research your medication. You have to research surgeries. You have to research what they suggested for you to do to make sure that they're making the better decisions for you, especially when it comes to medication. So researching and stay in contact and stay in tune, stay close to God. That's your first priority there. Once you do that, God gonna take the rest of it from
Okay. So, with you going through this journey of yours, 2014, then it come again in 2016, um, you started a foundation. Let's discuss. I'm saying this right. It's the Pkruzz um, Faith Foundation.
you. Yes, Pkruzz and Faith Foundation.
Pkruzz,
Yes.
okay, and Faith Foundation.
Yes.
What made you create the foundation, and wanted to spread the word about breast cancer awareness? And before you answer that, the reason why I'm asking is this: because you have some people that, um, when they say, okay, they get breast cancer, any kind of cancer, colon cancer,
Yes.
any kind of cancer, that word, you know, is usually known for, okay, you know what? Oh, I got it. I ain't gonna make it, you know. But most people, when they're going through something like that, they tend to stick to themselves. They trying to get themselves out of the rut, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever predicament they in, they trying to beat this thing, you know. And let's say they beat it, you know. You don't have most people do what you've done to where you come out and say, you know what, I'm gonna be an advocate to, you know, breast cancer awareness. I went through things, you know, I went through those things. Maybe I can tell somebody or give somebody some pointers to where, you know, they won't make the same mistakes that I made when I was handling the situation, you know. Um, and so most people be like, you know what, they just stay in their shell and they say, well, you know what, everybody else can deal with it on their own. And what made you start the foundation?
What made me start this foundation is I seen so many people that didn't have the support. When I was going to chemotherapy, while I was doing radiation, when I go to my doctor's appointment, I had such a big presence in my support until I wasn't even focused on my support. I was focused on others that I saw. So what really made me do this foundation is because when you know people that don't have the information, I didn't have the information. I had the support, but I didn't have the information. So when we don't have the information, and now I have the information, it most definitely made me want to create something to give to others to know before it happened. What happens is we get so in tune in what somebody else is going through that we don't think we're gonna go through it. Well, guess what? One of woman of every eight, you sit in a room. I'm gonna give you an example. Sitting in a room, you count 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do it 8 times. One of those women is gonna catch the BC or some type of the C word, because we always get in tune with thinking that this is happening to them, this is happening to them. But then when it's your turn, now it's like, okay, open up the doors. I'm here. It's my turn. No, listen, get your information beforehand. So when I saw so many people that didn't have the information, like I didn't have the information, I began to start researching. I started looking up natural medications because I'll get into it a little bit. So what a lot of people don't know about me is in my journey, and I don't encourage, you gotta be able to seek through God. I took myself off my medications. I don't talk about it a lot. I don't take not one medication for that. What I do is I take natural. I take herbs for my medications, because one medication leads you to the next. When you're taking these medications, there's chemicals in these medicines, and what happens is it's gonna affect something else, and then something else is gonna go through a bone density. It's gonna be something going on with your brain. Then next thing you know, your lungs. So that's what I did through my journey. So when I saw the things that I was doing for myself and it was working, not to say it's gonna work for the next person, but it may encourage you to do the same. Research for yourself. Be an advocate for yourself. If you're not gonna be an advocate for nobody else, be an advocate for yourself. So that's what encouraged me to really start this foundation, because I wanted to help others. I have people calling me all times of the night. My phone is open. I take phone calls. They need help with medication. I'm gonna research and I'll look up medication. We need to get you to another facility. If they telling you they putting you in the hospice, I have a facility. They do research. They're gonna continue on with your journey, because they know that it's not the end. If you telling me I'm in hospice, it's the end. What can I lose? So let's try another facility that would do a study. We have hospitals that do studies. So I don't mind if you telling me this is it. Do a study on me. It might make me last another year or two. I may not last forever, but I know hospitals are doing studies. So I just want to be able to assist and help others while I was going through my actual journey when I started my foundation. I just celebrated my 10th year. So I was actually going through my journey as well. But as I was going through my journey, I was researching for other people and I was helping other people. So what made me start it is because I wanted to be able to help somebody else survive.
Man, that's wild. I'm going to read and just I'm gonna put some information out there for those. And what I'll do is I'll post this later on as well. So our women viewers or that's listening to us will have this. They always talk about, and I always hear them talk about, it's important for women to have their mammograms or whatnot. Please go get your, when it's that time, please go get your mammogram and get your things checked out. These are some of the breast cancer symptoms that can vary widely, but some common signs include breast changes, a lump or thickening in the breast, a change in size, shape, or feel of the breast, dimpling or puckering of the breast skin, nipple discharge, other than breast milk, of course, skin changes, redness, swelling, or irritation of the breast skin, scaleness or flaking of skin, a lump or swelling under the arm, or under the arm, as it says, pain or discomfort in the breast, fatigue, loss of appetite, weight loss or gain, bone pain, swelling in the legs or feet. Less common symptoms are a lump in the neck, difficulty breathing, coughing and hoarseness. Um, and then it says it's important to note that not all breast cancers cause symptoms. Regular breast exams and screening can help detect breast cancer early when it is most treatable. If you notice any of these symptoms, it's essential to seek a healthcare professional promptly. I also want to discuss the severity between a different ratio between African American women that's dealing with breast cancer statistics versus other races like Caucasians. Black women have a slightly lower and dense rate of breast cancer than white women. Okay, 125.5 versus 130.5 cases. That's when you're surveying 100,000 women. However, this gap is narrowing with with the rate among black women increasing slightly in recent years. This is why it's increasing, as it says. Black women have a significantly higher mortality rate from breast cancer than white women, 40 to 27, if you're surveying 100,000 women. The reason why this is, and this what was shocking to me when I pulled this up the other day, this disparity is particularly pronounced among younger black women under the age of 50. These are the risk factors. The factors that increase the risk of breast cancer in black women include obesity, triple negative breast cancer, which is a type of aggressive breast cancer, a type of cancer, later age at first childbirth. So pretty much meaning you having your first child at a later age. Exposure to certain environmental chemicals, what you just saying, Punky. Access to care. The reason, and this what shocked me, the reason why black women are dealing with breast cancer more so than any others, because of the lack of access to care. Because and now I'm not going to get into the political aspect of what's going on with the government shutdown and things like that because of the Medicaid they're trying to cut and the different things that our government is trying to, far as where it comes down to health care, that you're trying to get rid of or, jack up these premiums that people aren't going to be able, you damn can't afford to go to the doctor now, but when this thing go through, it's really going to be hard to where you're paying over $800 to $900 more than you were paying just to have health care. And so this is one of the reasons why, if you can't pay to go get a mammogram or you don't have health care to go get it, and I'm sure it's some places out there where you can possibly get it for free. But, if you don't have access to care, how can you have, early detection? And so it says black women are less likely than white women to have health insurance and access to quality health insurance at that. This can lead to delays in diagnosing and treatment, which can worsen outcomes. Certain genetics variations may increase the risk of breast cancer in black women. Other factors are black women are more likely to be diagnosed with breast cancer at an advanced stage, which is 3 or 4. They also have a higher rate of hormone receptors negative breast cancer, which is generally more difficult to treat. So the conclusion is, while black women have a slightly lower intensity rate of breast cancer than white women, they have a significantly higher mortality rate. This disparity is likely due to a complex interplay of factors, including access to care, genetics, environmental factors. It is important to address these disparities through efforts to improve healthcare access, promote early detection, and fund research on breast cancer risk and treatment in black women. And I said that, and I wanted to read that because it's very important. And it's foundations like you have, and it's the things that you're doing out here that's helping, you know, all women, regardless of race, creed, or color, whatever the case may be, you know, you're putting the information out there to, hey, look at and say, look at this is what we need you to do. Okay. Go out here. Early detection, of course, is what we always hear. Early detection is the most important thing. Get your, get your mammograms and stuff like that. Get those things done. And if you don't have access to health care, you have organizations or you have these different places out here that can get those things done for you. And it just seems like it's one of those situations to where, you hear more and more now, the number of cases that's continuing, the number of women that's continuing to deal with this, continuing to deal with this, it's just at an alarming rate, cancer period. It seems like instead of getting better, it's getting worse, and it's affecting a lot of people, and not just, older folks. You look at the news and you seeing people passing away 20s and they 30s, cancer, they got 50 years old, haven't even lived their life yet. So to say that, ladies and gentlemen, early detection is best. If you're dealing with it, seek out. You're not on your own. You have people like Punky with the foundation that she have, the Pkruzz Faith Foundation. Seek these individuals out, seek these foundations out to get help. You know what I'm saying? If you just looking to vent, if you're just looking to have somebody there, to be with you, to walk on this journey with you, that's what it's about, because everybody needs somebody. And I just can't imagine dealing with something like this on your own. And I'll put the foundation's website up as well. Punky, can you tell them, just for those that's listening?
The foundation website is Pkruzz.
She's doing. She's taking her platform and taking what she's went through and what she's had to battle with, and she's helping others, make their battle and make their situation a little more easier, and that's an admirable thing that she's doing out here. Y'all put your comments on here. You can comment through YouTube here, and or if you have any questions for myself or you have any questions for Punky, we'll display them on the screen where you can see them, and we'll answer your questions for you. If it's whatever it's about, her journey, what she's doing, what she has going on, and different things of that nature. Put your questions, respond, comment, and we'll get to those as the show continues to go on. Let me ask you, so you have a lot of roles. You have a lot of roles. You wear a lot of hats. And with that being said, as a business owner, entrepreneur, it's just two of the hats that you wear. Talk about your the different endeavors you have going on, or what you got coming up. What's I don't want you to give away your secrets that you may got coming down the pipeline, but just talk about the different things that you do. The different things that you have going on. Of course, the 290 clothing line. You also have the foundation. You think you're doing something at exclusives, I believe. There's the different things that you have going on. The motorcycle club. I know you in the club. Shout out to my girl. Rest in peace, Renee. That was my girl right there. Yeah, that was my girl right there. But tell the people, what do you have going on these days?
Oh Lord, yeah. Okay, so I have something new going on. I'm not a person like, I don't just rah rah, flashy. what I'm doing. So I never announced this, but I do manage exclusive bar and grill. It fell in my lap unexpectedly, but I do manage, and it's a heavy weight on me right now. So, with working my foot, I'm a cosmetologist. I would never stop. That's my first passion. That's my baby. I would never stop doing hair. I would always do hair. So I'm doing hair. I'm doing the 290 brand ambassador. I'm modeling. I'm now the manager of Exclusive Bar and Grill, and we are open 6 days a week. Um, it's a big something different for me, but it's something big. It's like I don't know how to say no. If you ask me and you need me, I'm there, and I'm gonna always say yes as much as I can because that was just something I took on actually after my diagnosis. You seem to be a different person. Again, I say, and I'm a different person, so it's hard for me to say no. I could say no to a lot of things because it is a lot of weight on me. It's very stressful. My life is very stressful, but as y'all can see, I wear it well. I'm a person, I need multiple things to do. So multiple things for me to do keeps me going. That keeps me happy. It keeps me satisfied. I can't have one job. I've never been able to have one job. So I like to have multiple things to do. And I mean, that's just pretty much it for me. With that going, everything is full time for me. To be honest with you guys, I work 7 days a week. I sleep for me is 3 hours a day. Honestly, I sleep 3 hours. When I get home at night, I sleep at least 3 hours. I'm back up I'm a morning person, so I like to start work really early. I'm a cosmetologist. I start really early. I go from that job to the next. In the evening times, I'm at Rush Hospital. I actually, now it's about to get busy for me because now it's coming to the end of all the festivities, all my speaking engagements, all of the funds that I've raised. Now I sit down, all of the people that I've been mentoring for the season, the year, I donate the money. So I show up at doctor's appointments now. It's time for me to do doctor's appointments. It's time for me to surprise, patients that's actually having a rough time. And we gonna cry, we share stories, and I just sit with them and just, those are patients that don't have the support again. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm about to start my journey with going out, helping patients that's having a rough time, whether it be support, getting them back and forth to the doctor's appointments, mentoring. I do a lot of mentoring. I mentor patients that's not even my patients because I like to deal with, because there's so many schemes and scams out here, I like to deal with the hospitals because that way I know you actually going through this journey, because sometimes people come along and they're really not. They coming for the money. So I need to donate this money to people that really need it. So I'm out at different hospitals. I'm now about to sign back up with UIC. They kind of fell off. They wasn't keeping up with patients. So now I'm about to engage with Rush University and UIC. So that's going to keep me busy. So with doing my cosmetology work, going into my foundation, then after I leave there, after mentoring, doing sessions, I go into Exclusive Bar and Grill, managing 6 days a week there. So my life is very stressful, but I love what I do because everything I do, if you notice, it's a pattern. Customer service. I love helping people. So if I'm helping somebody, it helps me to help somebody else to make a better me.
Y'all give it up for her. Clap it up for her. Look at all the things that she's doing out here, giving back to the community, giving back to those, that need it at all times. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let me see, I need to pay some bills real quick. I got to go to a commercial break real quick. But when we come back, I want to get more into the speaking engagements. I want to get more into exclusive and you managing. And you got a lot of questions in here. We got a lot of questions and comments in here. I need to get to some of the people here that has questions and comments. Y'all hold on. Give us about 3 minutes. We'll be right back. We got the one and only Punky in the building. sitting here, Urban Nightlife Radio. This has going down, y'all. We'll be right back, right back, right back. All right, y'all. We back. Once again. Dream Team. Shout out to the Dream Team that supports me in everything that I do. They have a bus. The Dream Team bar crawl is going southbound. They're doing this November 1st. They got 2 stops. Most of the bar crawls you see, it'd be like 3 or 4 or 5 stops you're going to. Well, they switched up the game this time. They said they only going to do 2 stops so you can have the chance to order more than one drink before it's time to go. So the Dream Team is doing it November 1st. If you're looking for seats or whatnot, reach out to Kiana or anyone, you Doug and Ransom. Fabulous things that they're doing out here. They have a ski trip that's coming up next year as well in January, Martin Luther King weekend. Get with them for that as well. Dream Team. And then I think all the drinks that you get at the second bar, no matter what you drink, is $7, $8, and $9. So that's something that they have that they've negotiated. So y'all check them out. Check them out. Dream Team Bus. Shout out to the Dream Team. Shout out to my man JT, Chicago Bulls, provided me with the Chicago Bulls gear that we wearing today for the premiere of the show. I'll see you guys tomorrow for opening season. Shout out to the Chicago Bulls and the entire Bulls organization. All right, y'all, we here with Punky. We still doing this. We still talking. I wanted to get, let's do this here. Let's do this first because they are blowing this comment thing up. So let's see here. Let's do this. Okay, let me see who we got here. I got that one. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, there go my girl Myra. What's up, Myra? Said continue to spread awareness with the love emoji. Okay. We got LaShonda Pkruzz. You are the best with the 2 heart emojis on there. Let's see here. Myra again came in and said, can you elaborate on what you do through your foundation and how do you donate? So, okay, so if somebody wants to donate to the foundation, well, question is, what do you do through it and how do they donate to your foundation? Can you explain that to them?
How you can donate, I do have a website now. So you can actually donate through the website. If you go in the website, you should be able to click on donate and follow the prompts to donate to the foundation. Now, about the donation of the foundation, so what the donation goes to my biggest donation comes from, I do a walk every first Sunday of October. It's called the Pkruzz and Faith Foundation Walk to Survive. I do it in Columbus Park, on Harrison Central, and I do it on the west side of Chicago to represent the west side of Chicago. We don't have a lot of things going on like that in our neighborhood, so that's why I picked the west side of Chicago. But I'm from the west side of Chicago, so I chose 290 to do my walk every first Sunday of October. Now, those donations are once I'm done with everything, all of my events, all of the donations that come from the different companies. I sit down and all of my my mentees that I mentor, I divide the donations up and I go disperse them. And that's why I was explaining. I go to doctor's appointment and I take them a donation um, that comes from the foundation. So I don't use checks because I noticed, sometimes they was losing a check. So what I do is I upload a gift card. Gift cards are very easy to work with because they can pay a bill. They can use it for Ubers because a lot of them be needing rides back and forth and paying bills. That's where they most need help at. So though that's why I use the gift cards. I upload the money on the gift cards. Checks was kind of hard because a lot of them didn't have bank accounts. So I reversed it back to a gift card. But I try to show, when I go out to doctor's appointment, everything is privacy. It's by the HIPAA law, I have to get an approval to record or take pictures. Some take pictures, some don't. But as I go to the hospital and to donate the funds, I do try to take pictures. I show, so you guys can see where your money is going. It's just not being pocketed or just set to the side. I do donate the funds to the BC patients at the hospital.
Okay. All right, we got, let's see here. Let's see who we got here. Shannon Kelly, amazing, definitely my inspiration. Love, continue to allow God to use you. Giving up is not an option, hashtag. Okay, there you go, Shannon. Okay, we got, let me see here. I'll do a couple of more. Londa Rogers, keep on letting your light, oh, I guess you're saying lighting your light, baby. Okay. All right. We
Thank
got
you.
we got let's see here. Pinky. Very inspirational. Okay. LaShonda Poole. Yes, Punky. Yes, she says. And then let's see here. We got Ice. They say you are truly an angel, heaven sent. Continue to let God use you to help others. That's what she's doing, and I'm sure she will. Let's go back into, okay, this speaking engagements, being an inspirational speaker. How did you get into that?
Well, actually, being a mentor for Rush Hospital, Dr. Rao, that's actually my oncologist. One year, she asked me, you speak at engagements? And it was my very first time. And I was like, no, I haven't. But I will because it's all you do is speak from your heart. When you get up to speak to people, you speak from your heart. You speak from what you've been through. All she wanted me to do at that moment was to tell my journey, how I came about to start my foundation, things like that. Mm-hmm. So when I got up, I don't never really have a pen and piece of paper. I didn't have a pen and piece of paper. I just got up, I started speaking, and once I started speaking, I just started flowing. So from that point on, it just went from one facility to the next and to the next. So I actually started at Rush Hospital, and after that event, then, people see you at certain events, and then every year you get called to either come and speak, host, or just be a guest. So that's how my speaking engagement started.
Okay, all right. Exclusive. Give us the address. No, it's on Fifth Avenue.
406 Fifth Avenue. That's Maywood, Illinois.
All right, y'all here, 406 South Fifth Avenue, Maywood, Illinois. Nice spot, very nice spot. The ambiance, the patio out there is huge. Y'all go check it out. How did you end up managing? Is that something you always wanted to do?
Well, let me tell you. Well, I've always, since about 19, I've always been kind of behind the scenes in the bar. We're helping out with, as for karaoke, just trying to pretend like I was a bartender.
Right.
Just doing little things like that, collecting money at the door. I was like, I think 2021, that was one of my biggest jobs. I was at the door with the 290 twins. We used to throw parties at the Prop House, and I used to sit at the door, collect the money.
Ooh, shout out to the Prop House, man. I remember,
right.
And not to get off topic, but I remember, man, we used to go to the Prop House. I'm trying to think, was it Mondays? Was house night? Man, you talk about a good time.
Yes.
You know, the Prop House, you had these old spots, you know, the Prop House, Red No 5,
Yes.
your Chicago Legends,
Yes.
you know, the Cotton
Dolphin
Club, the Green Dolphin, the
Yeah.
Reunion. Oh, man, I can keep going on and on. Them was the spots back in the day. That's when clubbing was coming. But go ahead, I'm my bad. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so with doing those kind of things, your name just passed around, and oh yeah, she was good at this. Oh yeah, she can do karaoke. Oh yeah, And what happened was my brother and I try to refrain from that because I I don't want him to shine through me, and I don't want to shine through him. So I try to separate the two, but I do have to mention because I will make mention. My brother had a vision and had a dream,
Hmm.
and he wanted this bar, and he wanted this bar a certain type of way, and he's creative as well. So
Hmm.
his hands and four other friends of his, they took 3.5 years and they built this bar. So at that moment, I wasn't a manager. I wasn't thinking about it. I just told him, whatever you need me to do, I don't need to get paid. I don't want to. All I want to do is help you.
Hmm.
So I was there. I was working volunteer,
Hmm.
and I'm assuming he saw my work ethics and he saw the love I had for the business. So we had a few managers come through. To work. It didn't work out. So he was like, "Look, I'm tired. I don't want to go through nobody else. You here anyway. You doing the job. I was, but I didn't speak on it. I didn't want him to know I was doing the job, but I was. He was like, you doing the job anyway. You here anyway. You might as well be my manager. He was on me for about 3 weeks, and I kept ignoring it. The fourth week, I ignored him. I just ignored him. He stayed on me. Him and his wife, Tiffany Wilbur. They such sweet individuals, but they just was on me, and I just kept saying no, because everybody know Pkruzz, Punky, whatever y'all know me as.
Hmm.
I like to be outside,
Yeah.
so I felt at that moment this gonna take my life away.
Gonna tie
I
you
gotta
down.
be outside.
Right.
I don't
Right.
like to be stuck in one place. So I knew he needed me, and again, I'm not a no person. So
Mhm.
at that moment when I knew he needed me, my answer was yes. So that's how I got, and I became the manager of Exclusive Bar and Grill. Again, I love what I do. I'm a customer. I knew it had a lot of customer service. I was going to have to do a lot of customer service, and that's what I love to do. So I took it and I ran with it. And I actually love what I'm doing. I
That's
do.
that's what's up. It does take a lot of time
Yes.
out of your normal, schedule, especially when you're used to bouncing around, going supporting, doing different other things, supporting these different bars out here because you got to support to get support. And so when you have and when you tile down and you know and you have a role now that where you have to be there, most of the time that's gonna take away from your free time and you being able to go out there and do what you do what you've always done, bounce around to the different spots and have a good time and bring that shining light into the bar. um, but congratulations on that. Congratulations on that. I know you love to ride. I remember back in when we was in the bike world together. That's where I first met you at. So I know you love to ride. What is it that got you to riding bikes? And I'm not just bikes. I'm saying, women out here, they riding Harleys. They riding them big things. We be out here in the summertime. You go to these different things. Women bikes, they hooked up more than the men's bikes are nowadays. The women just didn't took over, just like the cigar game. It's more women smoking cigars
Right.
in the cigar bar than men are now. So shout out to them for doing their thing, stepping out and stepping into another world and pretty much taking it over, doing their thing. That was more so male dominant, throughout the years. But what got you to riding bikes and talk about some of the bike clubs that you've been into, your fellowship with your different sisters and stuff like that.
So what started me to riding bikes? I started a club, Red Upscale Red Carpet. That was my first club, and we used to go out and we used to see motorcycle clubs, and we used to be like, oh man, I want to start riding bike because it's a sexy look. For women, it's a very sexy look.
Mm-hmm.
So we always dress to impress again. We dress to impress in this club. So they was like, if y'all become a motorcycle club, y'all will look good. So that was very encouraging. We took a trip to South Carolina, and I saw women 99 pounds holding these big bikes up. And I said, wait a minute. I'm bigger than her. If she can hold that big old bike, I know I can do it. So at that moment in South Carolina, I went to a motorcycle store. No skills, no nothing. Rode this bike. Didn't know how to stop the bike. I kept going round and round and round and round. I was like, somebody help me. So as I'm going round and round and round, I knew I was about to drop this bike. So I said, okay, I'm going to have to buy this bike because I'm about to drop it. I dropped the bike. Yes, I did. I did 1,000 donuts. They finally got it to stop. But I wound up buying that bike.
Wow.
I brought that bike home. I put it on one of the gas trailers. And I brought that bike home. It was a 750 Honda, right? Because I didn't know what I was doing. So I brought that bike home. I learned how to ride that bike in like 7 days. I learned how to ride that bike. And it wasn't enough power for me once I learned how to ride. So when I learned how to ride 7 days, I was like, this bike got to go. I went to the Harley store. And of course, I'm never going back. But I need those 2 wheels. So me learning how to ride that bike, I excelled to a Harley. Actually, I have a deluxe, a Harley Deluxe. And if you know what a Harley Deluxe looks like, my bike don't look like a Harley Deluxe. I dressed my bike up. I suited and I booted. I'm about at least 80 grand into my bike. Over the years, I redressed my bike 4 times. 4 times, about 80 grand. I'm done, y'all. That's all I gotta say. I'm done. I'm just gonna ride her. But yeah, that encouraged me when I saw all of the smaller women riding these big bikes. And after that club, we started with Jig. I know you know Jig. You know Jig. So we started Women of Clutch and Chrome. We had Men of Clutch and Chrome and Women of Clutch and Chrome.
I remember that.
Yes.
I remember that.
And in that club, we had 5 chapters. Me and my sister, Sparkle, rest in peace. We started a Milwaukee chapter. We started a St. Louis chapter, Atlanta chapter. We had a Chicago chapter and an Ohio chapter, which made me become a national president. Once you get a certain amount of chapters, you become a national president. So I was a national president. Sparkle was my national vice president.
Right.
So we were so big.
And y'all had the best parties.
Yes.
Oh my God.
We were so big, but not only just big, we had the Buzz and Bees that we came behind. Buzz and Bees was a female MC club that was from Chicago, but they wasn't on the set at the time when we started. So we created the first female club again in the millennial, I'll say the millennials. Women of Clutch and Chrome was the first MC club in Chicago to reoperate since the Buzz and the Bees, because the Buzz and the Bees had kind of laxed their late, their colors like that. They got older, like back in the early 90s. So they wasn't really, in effect. They would come out every now and then. So we acknowledged them. We showed them a lot of love because they was the first, female club in Chicago. So we came right behind them and we repeated the cycle and we executed. And after that, I started Black Chrome. And that club was successful. I just had when my sister got sick, I kind of got out the club.
Right.
I had to end it. But, when you're a great leader, members follow behind. I never wanted that club to, dissolve. But I was a leader and they felt like, they didn't feel like it was a leader that could lead the club. I know I'm a great leader. I've been a leader since 5 years old. I've always been the head of cheerleader, head of the. So I was born a natural leader, and it's a gift. Being a leader is not something you can walk into. It's a gift that God gives you, and you have to execute being a leader. You have to walk a certain way. You have to maintain a certain way. It's a different level. You have to hold. You have to upkeep a certain way. I'm drama free. I can't be involved in certain things because the things that I do now. So being a leader it's a big role to take. So that's my motorcycle experience. And I still ride. So for those of y'all that don't think I don't ride, I still have my motorcycle. I still ride. I come out to events as I can. Not as much, but I still ride.
Okay. Let's see. We got some more comments here. Let's see what y'all saying here. Who we got? Let's see here. LaShonda came back and said, "Always been a boss." Okay. Say you've always
Thank
been
you.
a boss. They gonna Myra say. Let's see what Myra said. Upscale. I remember upscale red carpet.
Remember?
Upscale red carpet. Shout out to my sis Chanel Moody.
Yeah, Chanel.
Yeah, that was my
yeah,
sister.
that's my
Yeah,
girl,
my
yeah.
sister. Shout out to her. I remember she's an
We had
upscale
the
red
heels on.
carpet.
I don't care what we
Yeah,
went. We
y'all.
had them stilettos on, and that hair was spiked up.
Yeah, y'all.
Everybody in the club had spikes.
Yeah, y'all stayed with the little spiky. Yeah, I remember them days. Upscale red carpet.
Yes.
Man, the name itself was just like, damn. You know, it just
Yes.
popped out at you.
It did.
Okay. Let's see here. We got here. Let's see. God is good. I never knew this story about how you started riding. Oh, well, see, there you go. First, she let it loose right here on Urban Nightlife Podcast on how she started riding. After she did them donuts, dropped that bike, and it was on and popping. Okay. And Myra said, let's see, Myra again, come through, shut that.
Yeah, that was it. That was our slogan.
Yeah, they go. And Pinky said, yes, I love it all. Eyes was always on us. Oh, wow. Okay. Man. So let me ask you. So tell, before we get out of here, we've been going about an hour and 5 minutes. Tell the viewers, where can they find you? You know, where can they go to support you? You know, of course, the website for the foundation, which I'll also put in the description in the comments after we close out the show for those that may want to go and donate and or just get information on the foundation and what she's doing, where she's at, so that you can support her. But just give them, let's say, you like your nights that you're at upscale. Exclusive. Look, I'm still thinking about the club. The nights you're at exclusive. Your Facebook info. You know, how can they get in contact with you if they want to? You know, get up with you, come to support you. You know, just. Far as some closing remarks before we get out of here, just let the people know how they can get in contact with you.
Okay, well, you guys know I've announced it. The Pkruzz and Faith Foundation.com. That's for my foundation. You can go on there and you can search around. I got pictures and everything. You can kind of see the walks that we've had over the years. Pkruzz is my Facebook name. You can reach out to me by Messenger. I do have Messenger. I do have Instagram. My Instagram is PkruzzT1. You can DM me. You can reach me through Instagram. I am at Exclusive Bar and Grill 6 days a week. We are closed on Mondays unless the Bears play. If the Bears play, we open on Mondays. I work 7 days. But if they're not playing, I work Tuesday through Sunday at Exclusive Bar and Grill, 406 5th Avenue. That's in Mayville, Illinois. You know, if you guys want to come back, we have karaoke night on Wednesdays. Tuesdays, we have stepping night. Thursdays is happy hour. Fridays is ladies' night. Saturdays is the cracking night. Birthdays all over everywhere. Sundays is another laid-back night. We have football Sundays. So if you guys want to stop in, have a drink or something with me. I typically normally don't drink when I'm at work. It's such a big facility. Like, I have to be focused. I'm a person, if I'm working for you, I have to be focused. So I really don't drink. But I will take a shooter with you if you come and stop by and you just want me to take a little sip with you. I will take a drink with you. But those are my locations, and that's where you can catch me and you can reach me at. Any other locations, I try to just stop by. I still try to come and see my people. So I miss y'all. So if y'all been wondering where I am or where I was, it's out. The cat is out the bag. There it is.
Yes.
Y'all have it. It's been aired here at Urban Nightlife Radio.
That's right, y'all. We dropping bombshells out here. You know, we doing it. That's how we dropping bombshells out here. So y'all go check out and show us some love. Make sure you support the foundation, support the good things that she's doing out here for those dealing with that situation. And also continue to support Urban Nightlife Radio. This is the season 2 premiere of Urban Nightlife Radio podcast. We're going to continue to do this. We're going to continue to bring great content to you that you're going to continue to see us take it to the next level. We got our next show, which is going to be Sunday the 26th, I believe that is going to be our next show here where we'll be broadcasting live. Also, remember to subscribe to the channel. Please click to subscribe to the channel so we can keep doing this. We can keep this information flowing and we can keep it going because we do this for the people. A show for the people brought to you by the people. And that's what we do, y'all. It was an honor. It was a privilege to have the one and only, one of the greatest on this side of the Mississippi, Punky, in the building, y'all. Thank you, sweetheart, for being here. Thank you for opening up our season 2, episode 1. We coming back. And to all the viewers out there, thanks for those that was engaging, doing with the comments and with the questions. We thank y'all. We're gonna close out the show. We're gonna have us a drink before she get up out of here. And we'll see y'all again. Until then, gone.
This is